Have you ever canoed down a babbling brook?
No, but I have cried at a Taco Bell.
Oh, same thing. Listen up, campers.
It's time to buckle up, pitch a tent, and take a hike.
Because Camp Counselors is a variety show.
So prepare for a good old-fashioned kumbaya,
Weird news,
hot gossip,
and scary stories around the campfire.
so spooky.
Is this podcast even about camping?
No, but it is camp. This is Camp Counselors.
Hey, happy campers.
Welcome back to Camp Shady Birch.
That's Annalisa Vanderpool.
And that's Raven Simonier.
And you're watching Disney Channel.
Are they still doing that?
I don't think so. I think they must have stopped like 10 years ago.
That's crazy to stop your biggest legacy.
I think Disney Channel's kaput.
No, that was a rumor.
No, I think they like really are ending it.
That was a rumor.
Oh, I don't know.
They better not be.
They said Disney Plus.
Well,
come
this show
through.
isn't ending. Hello. Welcome back to our show. Thanks for tuning in again, you little sickos, you masochists for joy and whimsy. I'm glad you're home.
You won't leave. You just won't get out of here, huh?
I want to start off today's episode talking about trauma.
Oh, perfect.
It's not my trauma.
Okay.
I witnessed someone else's trauma.
Ooh.
I talked about this briefly on my TikTok, and by talked about it, I posted a video. But let me get a little bit more analytical here. Let me put on my Oprah Winfrey. Let me put on my Wendy Will.
Wait, put on your Nancy Drew shoes.
Put on my Nancy Drew shoes. Wendy Will Wendy Williams, yes, I did. So the other morning, and I already made a video about this, so if you saw it, just simmer down now. I was parked at a local grocer. If you know, you know. And I was in the parking lot and I was trying to like brainstorm ideas for a video. That's one of the joys for me about being back home is being able to drive because I do my best thinking in the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a coffee that morning and I'm in the parking lot and I was like, do I want to make something food related? I miss food content, but I didn't have any ideas. Just parked at the local grocer, kind of like mulling over something. And I witnessed a catastrophe at the local level.
What happened?
There was a woman. She's about 4 grocery parking lot lanes ahead of me. Are you visualizing? So I have eyes on the goose, but not on the gander, and the gander being the detail of her face. But I can see it is a woman. I can see she's probably north of 50, south of 60.
It's 55.
She has a lovely shade of burnt sienna hair.
Oh, I'm seeing it now.
She's wearing a turquoise top and white linen. I can only assume it was linen trousers. They could have been a capri. My mind is now.
Oh, she's a JCPenney girl.
JCPenney girl. This is a JCPenney girl.
I know the type.
She used to be a Maxxinista, but JCPenney's just easier now.
It's so much. You know that they'll have your size in something else. Whereas
She's like, I know I like Dockers. I know I like Land's End.
Joggers?
Chalkers?
Yeah, but if you're a Maxxinista, you just like you find one shirt and it's like, oh, they literally have this in one size. That's it.
I know, but one thing about this woman, regardless of her lineage in terms of store shopping, I knew that she cared about the earth. You know why?
Why?
Reusable bag.
I see. Comme si, comme ça. Actually, hey, that'll be full circle a little bit later.
So she has a reusable bag and it's filled to the brim. She didn't bring enough. Okay, so because she's
You never do. You never do.
You never know what you're
gonna
need. You never know what you're gonna need. So she has a big reusable bag and she's lifting it from the carriage and she's placing it into the back of her small to medium-sized SUV. I'm assuming a CRV.
A hatchback.
Yeah. So she's lifting up the bag of groceries. Okay, don't worry. Stay with me here. And it's overflowing. It almost looks like an ad of groceries because they're just kind of like peeking out the top.
Can you see what she bought? Was it like, are we talking like a celery stalk hanging off the top?
I wasn't locked into the details. I was kind of zoning out, looking in her direction until she lifts the grocery bag out of the carriage.
Handles broke.
And no, worse, she squeezed them together. And guess what popped out of the top at such a velocity because of its weight?
A bag of rice.
A bag of rice. And it was purple. And I can only assume jasmine.
Oh no, this poor woman.
I'm filling in the details here. So the rice hits the ground. And would you believe that the rice bag exploded like a cannonball?
Okay, how big is this bag of rice? Is it like is it bigger than a bread box? I'm talking football to pillowcase. What are we talking?
Wait, football. not a pillowcase. She didn't have the giant sack over her shoulder.
Well, that's why that wouldn't have burst.
So that wouldn't have burst. I'm surprised this even did burst.
Hmm.
So it was a purple bag. And this is when I locked out of that like zoning out and then I locked in. So the bag tumbles out of the blue reusable shopping bag. That's a detail that you don't need to know.
It's probably from Wegmans.
And it pops, it hits the ground and it explodes like confetti. Rice.
Oh, Earth's confetti.
Earth's confetti. So then what would you have done if you were her?
Panicked. I don't even know what I would have tried. I don't know. Maybe left it there. Did it all spread out?
Spread out
Mm,
like beans on a chalkboard.
I don't know what I would do. I don't have anything to clean up unless I had like a handy vac in the car.
She didn't have one of those. So what she proceeds to do, because now I'm watching, she's scooping up piles of rice. She's scraping them on the pavement. And this was the hot day.
Oh.
This was the day where there was a heat warning. Okay, so now the rice, it's toasting.
Oh my God, it's literally cooked.
It's cooked. Yeah, it's already, yeah, but add some water. I could have had lunch. So she's scooping up the rice. First of all, 9 a.m. Hands on the ground, scooping up the rice. She's panicked. And she's just taking that rice and she's whipping it in the back of the CRV. Whipping it.
Raw on the carpet.
Raw. And then, so I'm like, oh my God, this is awful. All of a sudden, character 2 steps in.
Oh my God, stage left. Please welcome Annalisa Vanderpool.
An unidentified woman who I can only assume they didn't know each other.
Mm.
So she feels bad. Now these 2 women, they're crab walking on the ground.
Oh my God, they're 55.
She was also of a similar age.
Bermuda shorts.
Bermuda shorts galore. And they're scooping up the rice and they're throwing the rice. And then the woman whose car it is, she goes in the front seat. What I can only assume, assumptions here, she's getting a paper out of.
You were assuming it was the front seat. I was like, well, it either is or it isn't.
No, she opened that door, but I think she pulled the paper out of the glove compartment. So now she's got 2 pieces of paper and she's scooping up. Kind of a smart ordeal.
Oh my God, I would go for the guide.
Yeah, so she's scooping it up, like kind of triangling, like making a little boat. She's scooping the rice. The other woman, she's still kind of doing the dustpan with the hands.
Yeah, her knuckles are bloody.
Oh, they're bleeding. They're bleeding everywhere. I can only assume. Episode title, I can only assume. So she's scooping up the rice. And then she puts it in there, and now they're both just kind of like flailing it into the back of the car, which is just, it's horrifying to watch. And then at the end, they get to a point now where it's like, we've done all we can do. Mm-hmm. Like, I know there were still grains left, but the piles have now gone into the grooves. There's nothing 3D anymore. It's kind of gone flush.
No, I think the world needs to have a good rainfall.
And guess what they do after that?
Part ways, hug.
They hug.
Oh.
They embrace. And my comments were saying women supporting women. This is sisterhood. This is girlhood. This is what it's like to be a woman.
Yeah. And what is the only man in the situation doing? Watching from afar.
Well, this is where I come in. Where do I come in?
I can only assume here.
I can only assume. They can only assume I'm scary because at this point, I haven't showered. So the hair, I'm working on a journey here. You guys are being really sweet. Thank you. But it's looking like a mess. I haven't showered yet. It's greasy. It's spooky. I haven't even brushed my teeth yet. And I'm sitting in the car 4 lanes over and I'm like, well, you want to help with the rice? I'm going to come rice it up with you.
By the time you get out there, you shake your hips, you put both your index fingers in your pant loopholes, you hoist up those trousers. By the time you get over there, the rice is already cooked.
By the time it all happened so fast and I wasn't getting up and it was hot out. And I felt like if I had to come over as a man, first of all, scary. They don't know me. So it's like I don't know if they're going to default to straight or not, but like, I don't even want a man approaching me in the parking lot.
Not with those hips.
Yeah. And not with greasy hair and sunglasses on, growling. I help with the rice. So I decided.
Love your creative thinking process.
What? What's creative about that? There was nothing creative. That was just facts.
Of why you weren't going over there. I'm turning into Nick Vile. So did you have instant regret when you decided not to help in Ricegate?
No, I'll tell you why. Because I know that a part of my journey on this place we call home, Mother Earth, is to storytell.
And you said this is for the bank.
And I said, this is for the podcast. This is for the girls back home. These are for the troops.
I see you just like smile and shake your head in the car and you're like, this one's for the girls.
Because there was layers to it. It was the explosion. It was the hand holding. It was the woman arriving. It was the idea of the paper, which I thought was smart. It was the hug and it was the pull off.
The Barbie movie could never. The Barbie movie could never.
And a lot of people in my comments, and now let's get into online hate. Because why was I receiving any of it for retelling a story? And I'll tell you the hate comments are, this is what I was getting the feedback. A lot of positive, a lot of laughter. Okay. And of course, I'm fresh on the scene, so when I'm telling it longer here, but they're punchy, TikTok biteable. I'm giving energy. I'm giving storytelling. Like, it was good. It was a good video. I posted it. So people in the comments were saying, funny, LOL, LOL. A lot of people were saying, why didn't I help? I just explained myself. And then a lot of people were also like, they were cleaning it up because the birds could eat the rice, and then the birds get sick. Guys, I understand that. As a real camper, you will know I've already been attacked for feeding birds in a previous life, feeding bread to birds.
Yeah. That's what I was just
I fed bread to birds once. Apparently, you just pulling behind the shed and shoot me over the head because I didn't know you couldn't feed bread to birds. Apparently, that had changed and no one told me.
Ducks are birds.
No one said they weren't, honey.
They like bread.
Do not tell a bird fan that you're feeding bread to the birds. They're going to take a shovel and hit you over the head with it. Because this is what I was told.
But you know what? Take that shovel instead of hitting me over the head. Take it to the parking lot and save the fucking birds from the rice. How about that?
So the bread can get into the bird.
I would assume.
And the bread can expand. And now, the bread is becoming a balloon.
Oh, okay.
And the bird.
It's bad for their
isn't funny.
Lower intestine.
Stop laughing.
Well, birds have like 6 stomachs.
They do, and they piss and shit out the same hole. Get a girl.
Oh my God, we were driving.
Yes.
Oh my God, we were driving. This was a couple days ago, and I can only explain this situation as what I would feel like it would happen. What would happen at Jurassic Park?
You can only assume.
If a pterodactyl flew over your Jurassic Park Jeep and took a giant shit while flying at around 50 miles per hour.
There was birds that flew over my vehicle that were in, this is a bird episode. There's birds that flew over my vehicle and they were in cahoots and they all pulled trigger at the exact same time and let go shit on my car. It was splattered. I almost swerved off the road. That's how much shit hit my window at a velocity, at a speed. It sounded like I went through a flash flood. It was like,
yeah.
And I was like,
it was so loud.
Oh my God. And that was before Rice Skate.
Uh-huh.
So, or was it after?
That was before.
That's not true, Ellen. It was after.
No, because we were talking to Kyle on the phone.
Yeah. When we come back from New York?
Uh-uh.
Never mind.
No, we were coming back from the store.
I have bird brain right now. I really do.
Yeah. No, we were picking up pizza. That's what it was.
Back to the rice. So the rice would have a very similar reaction. That's what the comments were telling me, that if the birds were to eat the rice, they could get sick. That's all true. Okay. Let's get back to the online hate. Why is that my problem? Why is that my fault? This wasn't my rice. I didn't spill it. And I have the exact same tools in my car as these women do. So everyone in the comments was basically assuming that after they pulled away and left their mess, I was supposed to go over and then continue to pick it up. I don't have a leaf blower on me. So to those birds that I hope no birds ate, I hope no birds were harmed in the making of this podcast. Okay. I really do. But you know who was harmed? Me.
There it is. There it is. We had to circle it.
Yeah, we had to circle it. And one can assume that I was hurt in this.
You're so Annalisa Core.
So I just wanted to tell you guys that you can watch a small moment in your life and you can stretch it to the start of a podcast. Just, you know how to, you just have to learn how to weave a tale. Some of you, I've seen you campers, you're very crafty. A lot of you you're weaving a blanket right now while listening. You crochet creeps. But while you crochet your creeps, I weave a tale. So that's what I really wanted to start today's episode off and talk about my bird gate.
Wow.
And then our bird gate was when we got flash flooded.
No, really, it's been a birdie episode.
Yeah.
It really has.
Did anything else happen this week?
In a motor vehicle.
What?
We were driving. Don't know where to. Don't know where from, but I can only assume somewhere good. So I'm sitting in the passenger seat. I'm sitting pretty with it.
You're always sitting pretty with it.
There's a ton of traffic. Oh, we were driving back from New York. That's what it was, because we were driving through Providence.
A camper just commented on my video when I was like about driving, and they were like, yeah, because Zach's driving and Jonathan's never driving.
And it's crazy
that was definitely a camper.
When you got that comment, who was driving the 4 hours? Me.
When have you ever driven 4 hours in your life?
I'm literally not doing this. We drove 7 hours back and forth for 2 years in this relationship, which is about to end by the end of this episode if you keep it up.
Oh,
bird killer.
But
So like
Take
I
that
was
back.
saying,
Take that back.
we're sitting in traffic and there's a giant Amazon truck in front of us. Fuck Bezos. I get it. But like the man, tractor trailer, Mac, like 16 wheels. I didn't count them. I don't know. I was going too slow. And they're trying to like merge into traffic and nobody's letting them in because it's like, it's a truck. It's huge. It's annoying. But I'm sorry, honey, your package is probably in there. So my man, look at me flipping it so quick. My man, my sexy man who cares about the birds and the bees and everything in between, including humans, you slowed down and you said, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm letting this Amazon truck in, and this is my due diligence.
Somebody had to. He was getting, people were cutting him off. It was honestly becoming unsafe. And I said, let me just give him the right of way because he's scared because the traffic went from 4 lanes to 1 lane.
Yeah, it was, and I was scared. I was really scared.
And then what happened next, John?
And then the man flashes his back brakes and he thanks Zach for letting him in. It was like seeing a dolphin swim past you and wave. And
it wasn't the brake light. It was some sort of additional light that was special.
The thank you wave.
It was almost like a hazard light.
It was like, it was like a vibrating.
It fluttered. Because it wasn't the brake lights. It was in the middle of the truck. And Jonathan goes, he just waved to you and thanked you. And then I started to cry. And then you said it was like a dolphin. And I said it was like a butterfly kiss.
Yeah, it was like really emotional.
And it made the whole drive worth it. The whole 4 hours back from New York for the Chili's ad worth it. Until what? Until you made me feel so special and then you pulled the rug out from underneath me.
I didn't pull any rug because I truly believe there was like, I don't know. I saw a TikTok at one point and they were like, if a truck driver does this to you, they're thanking you. I could only assume that he was thanking us until a few minutes later when we did see him and he was just doing the same thing because it was just his brake light.
It was just a function of the truck.
It was a function of the truck. I thought they had a thank you button or something. There's something to do with the lights if you let people go.
2 gay men on a podcast. I was convinced the tractor trailers had a thank you button. Like, what? He has a thank you button.
I thought that I don't know.
You assume the best in people.
I don't know. I try. You know what?
You do.
2026 is going to be the year of stopping giving the benefit of the doubt to everybody because I just handed out left and right.
The world make you cold.
Honestly, this has to stay a safe space right now. I mean, always, but like this has to be peppy and like silly. We have to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and that's what we're doing here on this very program.
We keep it light, we keep it cute, we never keep it on mute.
We keep it tight too, super tight. This episode is sponsored in part by Boll Branch. You know that moment when you finally get into bed after a long day, but your brain decides, hey, you know what? It's time to review your entire to-do list. Literally me. But I'll be honest, Boll Branch sheets have completely changed how I sleep. The second I slide into bed, there is a softness that just melts my whole body. It's like the sheets are telling my mind, quiet now, sweet overworked Aquarius, not tonight. Rest now, child. Boll Branch's signature sheets are made from the finest 100% organic cotton. They're totally toxin-free and they're crafted by expert artisans who are actually paid fair wages. I'm gonna be honest, I used to think all sheets are the same. I don't know what a thread count is, but then we got Boll Branch. It is like top tier paradise resort bedding. Such a luxurious way to end every single day. And Boll Branch wants you to be comfortable not only when you sleep, but also at checkout. With Boll Branch's 30-day worry-free guarantee, you can wash the sheets, sleep in the sheets, and if for any reason you're not loving them, you can return them for a full refund. Get the best savings of the season during Boll Branch's annual summer event. Get 20% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com/camp. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/camp to save 20% and unlock free shipping. Limited time only, exclusions apply. See site for details. This episode is sponsored in part by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you can save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Attention campers, please meet at the old flagpole under the tall pine for morning announcements.
Welcome back to Morning Announcements, campers. This is the part of the show where we share news articles with you that you might have missed, that we want you to spread like wildfire. Jonathan, take it away. What's your article?
Before I get into my article, I'm just going to say I had a note at the top because I thought a topic of interest at some point could have been talking about barbecues. So this is my only note at the top of the show. 1.5 pounds boneless, skinless chicken thighs. 1 cup Mountain Dew, regular, not diet. 2 tablespoons soy sauce. 1 tablespoon lime juice. 2 cloves of garlic. And that was a recipe for Mountain Dew marinated chicken skewers.
Did you make that up or did you find that recipe?
I found that recipe.
I love, and I mean love, a Mountain Dew cake.
Oh, you know what? I've made a Mountain Dew cake on my YouTube channel in high school.
You can also do it with Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
Probably do it with Coke too.
Soda
Sprite.
and cake is good.
It's the bubbles. It keeps it moist.
Is it the bubbles?
Yes.
Oh, I guess, because I'm like, well, people make
Yes.
water pie. I've heard that. I made a root beer float pie. That was so good. I need to get a root beer float.
Yeah,
in the next few days.
One thing about you, you've been saying that. You've been jonesing for one, some would say.
Someone get this boy an RBV. Nope, an RBF.
Resting bitch face. That can turn around with a root beer float. What's your story?
Okay, so this is an article coming from The Sun UK, so I can only assume it is very credible. And it is by Katy Pagan.
Katy Pagan.
Cue the lightning there. And it's, you know what? I'll say the title. Are we shocked? Okay, so we're in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh? Like Edinburgh?
I don't know.
Like Scotland?
Oh, yeah. Yeah?
Yeah, Edinburgh.
Yeah. So,
Edinburgh. Like Edinburgh Fringe Festival. And someone's ripping us a new asshole.
E-D-I-N-B-U-R-G-H.
I have 19 now, thanks. We love to spell. Keep it going.
We're in the UK, babes. And the pubs, hey, they're glowing. The laughter, it's flowing. 2 best friends, Siobhan Stanton and Adele Donkin, we're making the most of a rare weekend together. You know, we're adults now. We're grown, and they just don't get to see each other that much. So when they do, they're just like, let's rip it up. We got a babysitter, and tonight is girls' night.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those nights where the wine keeps pouring and the memories feel endless. Until Adele, of course, decided, hey, it's time to call it a night. Siobhan had other plans. Quote, I just wanted the night to go on, she'd later explain. We never get to hang out like that anymore. I didn't want it to end. So the two began their friendly...
Is this an article or
This
just
is
two
this
friends
is an
chatting?
article.
Like, where's the news? I didn't
It's
want to go
coming.
home. She wanted to get drinking.
So the two began their friendly tug of war. One gently insisting it's time to go home, and the other pretty much wasted and pushing for the other one to drink. When Adele stood at the pub's exit with her house key in hand, Siobhan grabbed it and swallowed it.
Okay, this is a mess.
Adele would later say, quote, I genuinely thought she was winding me up and had pretended to swallow it and had hidden it behind her back. So then I realized she did swallow the key and I couldn't go home as my mom was night shift at work. So I had to phone her to work to tell her what happened. She thought I was winding her up too. I don't know what accent I'm doing here.
Wind her up.
I had to stay at my friend's house that night. Well, thank God she... Okay.
Is this the article? Is this the article you picked?
This is the article I picked. Listen, the news now is dark. So I'm picking the lightest I could find, okay? And I don't think anybody wants to hear about the man who broke the record for playing the steel drums again. I already mentioned that, and that was like at the top of the list.
Keep breaking that record.
32 hours. The next record's 33. Just you wait. He had to eat through it too. Anyway, the two ended up in the emergency room where medics took an X-ray, and the X-ray is in this article, and it looks like Lord's album cover.
Oh,
Like-
the virgin one.
Yes, it's like a full ass key.
Is she sitting pretty with it?
She's sitting pretty. She looks a mess. There's like a Snapchat picture. She looks a mess.
We love news articles that use Snapchat photos.
They also were calling it A&E, and I was like, oh my God, these girls ended up on TV. But A&E is like ambulance and emergency or something like that.
Oh, you thought the channel, that's like their hospital.
Yeah, because they kept saying these two girls, they ended up on A&E. They ended up on A&E, but it was saying in, and they
You're
just
like,
meant,
what's the show?
No, I was like, what? Did they do this for clicks? And they didn't. Okay, so the two ended up in the emergency room. The medics took the x-ray, and the key was visibly in Siobhan's intestine.
Oh, wow. It really, so it traveled through the gullet.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 days later, she passed.
Did that cut her up a little bit?
Probably. Well,
That-
she passed the key. She didn't pass.
I figured.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, she passed the key naturally. So they took her x-ray. They charged her probably out the wazoo.
And they
then
didn't even do anything.
then the key came out the wazoo. Adele said, Siobhan asked if I wanted my key back. I said, no thanks. I'll get a new key cut. The internet has since dubbed it one of the most unhinged acts of friendship ever caught on X-ray. And as far as the friend whose key went missing, she got home eventually, but not before learning just how far some besties will go to make the night last just a little bit longer. So thank you, Katy Pagan. She was really working up some witchcraft with that word count.
Was that song by Group Love?
I got a little bit longer. I got a way to go. And this title was Skeleton Key in all caps. She's keeping it spooky.
That's not Skeleton Key.
My friend went to extreme measures to stop me from going home from a night out and ended up in A&E. And the x-ray says it all.
Oh my God, Skeleton Key because the X-ray.
X-ray.
Honestly, that
It's
pagan
playful.
is a pagan.
It was playful. It was playful.
Thank you for sharing that. I like
Thank
that.
you for listening. And what, I don't know how drunk you would have to be to like swallow a key. That's like a,
I
that's a
wouldn't. I
lot.
could never be that drunk. I would just be like, okay, go home. Bye.
Yeah, no, that's too much. That's too much.
Thank you
Okay,
for
so
sharing.
what have you got?
My article comes from the BBC, and the author is Ko Ewe. So it's KOH space EWE 3 and 3. I like that.
Okay.
I mean, in the article is a best place to have herpes. New Zealand advertisement wins top prize. So to fix our nation's pride, the solution is obvious. Herpes. That's a quote. That was the pitch made by the charity New England Herpes Foundation last October when it launched a campaign to make the country the best place to have the infection. So that campaign has been a roaring success, winning a top prize at this year's Cannes Lions Awards, which recognizes excellence in the creative industry. So like the Lions Awards in Cannes, France is basically like the Oscars for the advertising world.
Jenna Lyons is not a part of it.
She probably was at one point. I actually would die to go to this as someone who went to school for advertising. Like this is really interesting, and they just recognize like the most creative, innovative, successful advertising campaigns like across the board. So this herpes campaign won for like it won for like an award for like what's it called?
Creative
For like
campaign?
creative campaign, but for people in the field of like
Marketing?
yes, but like it's up in the field of like people who work in like human services, like nonprofit.
Oh yeah.
Like they didn't win up against Coca-Cola. You know what I mean?
Right. Humanitarianism.
Yeah. So that campaign, which aimed to destigmatize herpes via a faux tourism advertisement, was awarded the Grand Prix for Good, a category that seeks to highlight works by nonprofit organizations and charities. If I would have just read the next paragraph, we could have gotten over that. So the video in this advert, as they would say over there, starred Sir Graham Henry, the former head coach of the national rugby team, union team. So in it, he touts the past successes of New Zealand and lamented its diminishing source of national pride, such as an embarrassingly low sheep-to-human ratio and pies that are pushing $7. So he's basically like, hey, we used to be the top dogs. Everyone loved New Zealand. Everyone loved our accent. Everyone loved how many sheep there were. Everyone loved our pies. We were so good at rugby. But in the last 10 years or so, we're plummeting. So the whole idea is like, what are we going to do? Like, what is New Zealand going to be best at now? And he was like, we need something new to be proud of, something big and brave to put us back on the map. And then he's like, the word herpes, he's like writing it on the blackboard in the advertisement. And he goes,
with chalk, of course.
And with chalk. And he goes, it's time for New Zealand to become the best place in the world to have herpes. This campaign is so unhinged and it's so funny. I'm obsessed with it.
I'm just like confused.
What followed was another old school video packaged as a herpes destigmatizing course featuring other national icons. They got other like famous New Zealand people in it, like Chief Sir Ashley Bloomfield and professional boxer Mia Mutu. They each have their own videos like, what is herpes? Is herpes common? How to fight the stigma? So it's like this whole advertising campaign for this charity that basically teaches people like what it is, how to like stop it from like spreading, and like how to like treat it and how to like not be embarrassed by it.
Oh, okay.
And the whole campaign looks like a 1970s like vacation ad.
Oh, that's fine.
So the joke is, it's like, oh, like Virginia is for lovers. Their whole joke is like, New Zealand, the best place in the world to have herpes.
Is it working?
Well, it's not like it is. It's just like a cheeky way to like open the conversation about it.
I see. And hey, the conversation was open and we're having it.
Yeah, and I think it's like forget the doom and gloom. There's enough of that already going around about the embarrassment of herpes. Like our 2025 award took a taboo topic and turned it on its head, showing that with great strategy, a big, bold, crazy idea, and humor for days, anything is possible.
Wow.
Yeah, so around 1 in 3 sexual active adults in New Zealand has the virus that causes genital herpes, and or has some other like mild symptom of it, or like no symptoms at all. So like herpes is really prevalent, you guys, and we're destigmatizing it on this show right now. So popular media, misinformation, and New Zealanders' awkwardness talking about sex has led to a huge stigmatization for those living normal lives with the virus. And the whole point of this is like it's making a massive cut through. So the campaign's funny, and I think that's why it worked.
It grabbed a headline. It grabbed your attention.
In the United States, 50 to 80% of adults have oral herpes, and 12 to 16% of adults have genital herpes. And a lot of people don't have any symptoms at all. But you hear the word herpes and you go, ooh, oh no. And now people can like laugh a little, drop the shoulders and say, you know what? What is herpes? And how do I get it under control?
I just think the word itself is like, that needs a rebrand.
But the word is only because we've been conditioned to think that. Because the word could be shampoo, but if you thought that was a STD, you'd go, ugh. But it's just like, there's nothing wrong with having herpes, you guys. It's
Is
just
there something you want to tell us?
No, I don't have herpes, but I'm just saying, like, if I did, so do 80% of the people in the world.
Yeah, that's very true.
So it's like, let's stop being embarrassed by it, and let's just be like, okay.
Let's get to New Zealand. Pack your bags. We're going down under.
It's like New Zealand's like, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. And we're just telling you, like, relax a little bit. And we're being cheeky and reminding you that there's resources to learn how to manage it, how to not be awkward about it, and how to learn how to diagnose it. So kudos to them. Destigmatize anything, because without information, without access to learning, we become as people very rigid to everything. And only through education can we become better humans. So
take a note, America.
Good job, New Zealand. I love this. And I love this campaign. So fun.
This episode is sponsored in part by TaskRabbit. Summer is here, and so is my to-do list that somehow refuses to do itself. Listen, we are new homeowners now. There's just a lot to do. It's hard for me to get to everything. Enter TaskRabbit, my secret weapon for a stress-free summer. TaskRabbit connects you with skilled taskers who can help with everything from mounting and moving to home repairs and furniture assembly. And the best part, many taskers are available the same day. Just go to TaskRabbit.com or download the app. You can search for taskers based on price, skill set, availability, and reviews, then book, pay, and tip all right in the app. With over 3.4 million pieces of furniture assembled, 700,000 home repairs, and 1.5 million moves completed, campers, you're in good hands. As you know, Zach and I just bought our first house, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done, okay? Nobody prepared me for that. But I can only do so much. My arms hurt, and you know I'm not good with a hammer. We used TaskRabbit to find a tasker who was able to come through and hang our TV for us. Now I get to sit back and relax in my new home. Tackle your to-do list today and get 15% off your first task at TaskRabbit.com or on the TaskRabbit app using promo code CAMPCounselors. That's promo code CAMPCOUNSELORS at TaskRabbit.com for 15% off your task. TaskRabbit. Book trusted help for home tasks. This episode is sponsored in part by Zoc Doc. Remember that doctor's appointment you were supposed to make months ago? Hello? Why not just book it today? With Zoc Doc, it's actually so easy to find the right doctor right now, all online. Zoc Doc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. You can book with over 100,000 doctors across every specialty. Campers, as you know, we recently bought a house and moved from New York to New England, and I had to switch over my New York health insurance to my new one. I barely have friends here. You think I know a doctor here? It was honestly a nightmare. It was so overwhelming, and moving is overwhelming enough without worrying about finding a new doctor. But let me tell you, Zoc Doc, they've been a lifesaver. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/camp to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/camp. ZocDoc.com/camp.
Grab your bug juice and bear spray, campers. It's time to pack it up and take a hike.
Welcome back to Take a Hike. This is the part of the show where we bitch a little. We tell something or someone to take a hike.
Take it. Take that minute. Breathe it in.
Okay. So what I'm telling to take a hike is the utilization of the word unfiltered, in the sense of having that in your Instagram handle or podcast title, if you are not actually being unfiltered. I am seeing far too many people have pretty G-rated, not even labeled as explicit content with certain shows that I won't name, but I've got one word out of the way, where it's just not creative. You know, what are you being unfiltered about here? Unless you're Jackie Schimmel, who her podcast is called, it's called Bitch Bible, which we were on an episode, by the way. And she pretty much resembles, in my mind, unfiltered.
You're saying your take a hike is when people call themselves unfiltered in a branding standpoint, but their content is pretty vanilla. And you're like, girl, what's there to be unfiltered about?
Exactly.
You're doing Labubu reviews.
Exactly.
I'm not gagging.
Right. So if you are being unfiltered, you can use it. Like, go off. Because I did see someone, and I looked up. I was like, do I know anybody with this before I started popping up? And one girl came up, and it was like, unfiltered, like, mother of Jackson or something like that. So I was like, okay, because it's not sounding unfiltered. And I clicked the page. She was unfiltered. And I said, you know what? I stand corrected. And that's why I am adjusting my take a hike to say, if you deserve to use it and you actually are, you can use it. You can go ahead and use that word. But otherwise, baby, you're Brita. Like, you are as filtered as you get. Like, I don't need to hear you talking about, I'm going to stop because I'm just going to get myself into trouble.
I think it's more general than this. I think if you're going to give yourself a title, stand on business.
Right.
Don't call yourself like the queen of cakes if the cakes are looking a little bad. Because right now it's giving the popper of cakes. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's more of a general conversation. Like, if you're going to be about it, then be about it.
Oh my God. And
but don't give yourself like a big title if you can't fill the shoes.
And you know what else? If I'm saying this and I get any sort of backlash from anybody who
I'll protect you.
No, I don't even need the protection because I'm not unfiltered. I wouldn't consider myself unfiltered. I have a pretty big filter. Hello.
Yeah, you're very filtered.
Call me Folgers. Like, I am like a coffee filter over here. Like, I'm too conscious of what I say. But
even right now you're nervous.
If you're listening, I know, literally, listen to me filter my discussion on unfiltered. But if you have that as your Instagram handle and you're feeling some type of way about me saying this, consider changing it. Consider a rebrand, either in your attitude, in your content, or your handle. Just think about it.
I love it unfiltered.
Yeah. And also, your pictures have filters. Why? We're just a walking oxymoron.
I get it. I see you. And that's your take a hike, and this is your show.
Thank you for coming to my unfiltered TED Talk.
You filtered that.
No, it was pretty filtered.
You got it off your chest and I hope you feel better.
I do. But now I'm fearful that unfiltered mother of Jackson's going to hear it.
Well, she was unfiltered.
She was.
She said something about her husband. She was like, after he hits that golf ball around in the hole, he better come hit my hole. And I was like, she gets it.
She got it.
She got it.
Assignment understood. What are you telling to take a hike?
When people drive motorcycles or street bikes on the highway unreasonably fast and they bob and weave through traffic, you're scaring the fuck out of me. Okay. And apparently, I was talking to Kira about this on the phone, and she said that even when they're in stop and go traffic, you know how motorcycles will go in between traffic when it's stop and go?
Mm-hmm.
She said that they're allowed to do that because it's safer for them, which I'm like, I don't see how that's safer. But I'm not talking about
Who
that.
said that?
Kira, but she doesn't know anything.
She's never been on a motorcycle.
That's one thing about Kira. She's never been on a motorcycle. And
She
either
also
will I.
she loves to state facts that aren't true.
So I don't know if that's true or not, but what I'm talking about is, have you ever been on a highway and you're driving your car and a motorcycle whips past you at such a speed that's like giving north of 90 miles an hour? And I'm like, first of all, your choice of vehicle is already so unhinged and so unfiltered for me. Like, I don't get it. I can only assume you don't care about your body because the risk of riding a motorcycle is astronomically high. And then to top it all off with a fucking cherry, you're not even wearing a goddamn helmet. Do you hate yourself this much? Baby, if you don't care about yourself, somebody does. Get a Honda Accord and get inside and buckle up. There's no seatbelt. I don't like motorcycles. My take a hike isn't motorcycles because if that's your prerogative, do you. You have a right to do whatever you want in this world. But to whip the vehicle to go so fast in a vehicle that is so unsafe, I feel like I'm a mother. I'm nervous.
It's true. And then even when they're ahead of you, that's what I told you when the guy whipped around us, he was ahead of us. And I was like, get in a different lane because if he falls off of this thing, we're going to keep going and he's going to be stopped. And I'm saying this from a place of my brother was stopped. He was at a full stop. He was making a left turn. And this was before he had his big truck. So whatever he was driving was lower to the ground. A man was driving behind him at full speed, came up a curve on a motorcycle, had to jump off of his bike. The man's bike got wedged under my brother's car. He couldn't move it. The guy was okay. He was like making like a joke about it because he was like 20. He was like very young. And my brother was like, "Are you like you literally could have just died." And the guy was being like honky dory. And I don't want to hear, "Oh, it's like a human reaction. Like you don't know how you would react." I know how I would react because I wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. Thank you.
Yeah, this whole thing reminded me of
What?
my least favorite episode of Sex and the City.
The motorcycle.
Who's clocking it right now? My least favorite character in like almost any TV show will forever be Berger. Jack Berger.
Jack Berger is a disgrace.
So, a little context if you care to listen. In the show, one of Carrie's many boyfriends is Jack Berger, and he's a writer. And he is basically, his whole point in the show is to show how insecure men can be, especially when they're dating a powerful woman. And he continues to be so insecure as a writer while Carrie is more successful. So at this point in the show where this incident happens, he's really jealous of her getting a huge book deal and he gets dropped from his book deal. So Carrie comes out of the house, and this is important because I want to read you this scene. Carrie comes out of the house and they're going to an event, and she's dressed in a glamorous purple dress with a long, slick side ponytail. She comes down the stairs of her brownstone, and Jack is there, Jack Berger, on his motorcycle. He's like, "You ready to go?" And she's like, "Bitch, I'm in a fucking dress. I'm not getting on a motorcycle." And he is down bad because he lost his book deal. And her being a good girlfriend's like, he's like, "Come on, Carrie, I want to drive over the Brooklyn Bridge. Like, please, it'll be special." And she doesn't want to, and she's very uncomfortable, and she doesn't want to wear a helmet on her hair that's been done. So she's like, "Okay, I'll take one for the team and ride a motorcycle in a dress with a helmet with her hair done." So the scene takes off. They go whipping down the street. They're going so fast. They're whipping around the corner, and they get off the bike, and she flips out. And I wrote down the script. Do you want to hear what it says?
Yeah.
She goes, "I told you not to go fast." He goes, "Oh, I wasn't going fast. I just felt fast because you're on a bike." And then she goes, "Bullshit. Couldn't you feel my hands digging into you?" And he goes, "I thought you were excited." She goes, "I was terrified." And he goes, "Well, calm down. You're safe." I want to kill this man.
They're marigolds.
I want to kill Jack Berger. If I could have seen him, I don't care if he's fictional. If I see that actor on the street, it's on site. How could you do that to her? How could you do that to her?
He was a monster. He was like, he personified a lot of negative aspects in men, which there are a lot of.
I just think to be reckless in a car is awful. To be reckless on a bike, it's even worse.
Oh my God, with the love of your life on the back. Like, are you crazy?
I know. So if you see a motorcycle whip around you on the highway, just say take a hike.
Do you think the new counselor likes the top bunk or the bottom bunk? Over.
Either way, I'm giving them my boondoggle keychain. Over.
Welcome back to Campbell Crush of the Week. I've calmed down. I put my seatbelt on. I put the window up. I put my jams on. and I'm here to celebrate who is getting the award of the week for superstar in my eyes. It'll never be Jack Berger. It could never be Jack Berger. I hope it's Jack.
I think it's Jack.
She just calls him Berger the whole time, which
Who-
is so dumb.
We don't. Yeah, he's a dumb last name, and who cares?
Well,
what his
I'm
first
sorry
name
for the
is.
camper's last name Berger. I didn't mean it. I'm just hurt. But that's not about him right now. It's about who we loving, who we snogging, who just needs to be held up into the sky like a baby and twirled around. Who's that for you?
Hardware stores. I've been loving a local hardware store. It is corporate. It is a chain. I'm not going to name it, but I'm sure you could figure it out.
Lowe's.
It's not the orange one. And I have been visiting there so much because of this godforsaken desk that I'm ready to chop into pieces and throw in the fireplace, to be quite honest. But I'm in the final stages, and hopefully in 4 weeks from now, it'll be done. But I have had to go to this hardware store so frequently that thank God I'm actually enjoying it. You know, it's so come as you are core. It's like 8 a.m. You can be wearing whatever. You could be, I free ball sometimes when I'm in there, you know,
Whoa.
and you're seeing all sorts of walks of life. And this particular one that I go to, there is a much older employee. What am I trying to say?
Demographic, I would
No,
say.
not the people shopping, the people working.
Just say older employees.
Older employees.
Got it.
Thank you so much. And everybody is so kind. I'm like standing in an aisle looking confused for 0.2 seconds, and somebody comes up and like offers to help. What they don't know is, here's a secret they don't know, I know, is that they have the app, and I go on the app and it'll literally like walk me to wherever, like whatever I need in the store. Super convenient. Love it. Also, I'm a part of the gold tier key member. Don't ask how many bucks I spent at that place, because the limit does not exist. At this point, I'm like, should I have refurbished this old desk, or should I just like purchased a new one for 4 times the price and still been saving money?
I think if you would have bought someone's refurbished desk that was brand new, you would have saved money because you've spent so much money.
Oh my God. I thought
But
for the last trip, I thought I had everything. I needed like 2 more things. Over $106.
yeah, but next time you want to refurbish, like say we get a bureau and you want to do that, you will have everything now.
That's literally not true, because most of the stuff I have to replace because I didn't know what acetone does to most plastics, which I should have learned from the time that I put it in a red Solo cup, melted through the Solo cup, absolutely destroyed my bureau, and a camera battery. It sizzled, and I put it on a plate, and I didn't know what to do with it. The internet said, don't throw it out. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I'll
the
sit with
internet
it.
loves to tell you not to throw out your batteries. What do you do with them?
What do you do with that?
Jewelry.
Wait, what are we doing with our batteries?
I'm making
campers?
bangles. What are you doing with your batteries?
I'm putting them in balloons and throwing them at people.
Well, I have a couple bangles available on my Etsy
If you just want to check it out, what is it? Beautiful batteries.
because it's the AAA and that's the thin bangle.
Oh my God, wait, the top. Yeah, keep going.
And then the AA, we're getting a little bigger for the more bold audience.
Okay.
And then if you're really feeling sassy, we have the Volt batteries, and that's kind of like a statement necklace.
Oh my God.
And they come in Duracell and they come in store brand. Dollar Tree.
No, you know who would love that is like the bear community and the gays. They would be like, yeah, like put it on a choker and I'll wear a Volt battery.
I'm like, no, honey, it's not poppers.
No.
It's
just-
battery acid. Close enough.
Or you could do the tiny watch batteries as like a little charm. That would be pretty. That'd be dainty. Or like a little necklace.
You know, it's crazy. I wonder if someone's connecting the dots here. You know where this is getting really close to?
What?
Steampunk. And you guys
You think?
already know how I feel. You think? I know, honey.
Batteries as jewelry? I'm thinking like steampunk to me is more like brazened brass and gears. Oh, I guess I see what you're doing. You're like recycling the gears, recycling the batteries.
Yeah, like I'm thinking Mad Max would have like a battery boot.
Not the battery, boo.
I don't know. I'm in a dangerous territory, and you guys know I hate steampunk. I hate it.
No, yeah, I hate it too. But back to hardware stores. You personally, you love the lighting thing. I think that was like a big gay thing. Is like
Every gay
the
boy
gays
loved the
love.
lighting.
What was that?
It was stunning. It was decor. It was fashion.
Yeah, I loved that. I loved the ceiling fans too. But I think I was just stimming as a kid, and I just didn't have a word.
We both
for
had
it.
dads that took us to those places a lot. Like not everyone has that dad.
And they would have the hot dog stand at the
Don't
certain one.
Don't talk about things you don't know about.
See, but some of these stores are homophobic. However, you walk into the paint aisle and it's like Rainbow City over there.
Some
I'm
of my
like,
family's homophobic. Well, you can't get away from it.
no, it's honestly so true. But yeah, I really enjoyed the hardware store. And the last time I was there, I had the things I was buying were smaller, so it was more awkward if I was going to walk out with like a fistful of them.
Mm.
They had no bags. And I said, "Oh, are there any more bags?" And she like puts her hand on my shoulder and lowers her voice. It's this like old, she's like maybe in her mid 70s. I'm not kidding. She goes, "Oh, honey, I have to apologize for that. I've been apologizing to people all day. People were leaving the other competitor's store too. Nobody has bags anywhere. And these are paper bags because where this store is, they don't have plastic."
Are they out or
No,
they're not doing it anymore?
she said they got a notice that the manufacturers like no bags. They're going to do it, but whoever is at the top of the line, there might be a forest fire, could have been like beavers got into it,
So
into the
they're
wood.
going to have bags again.
I'm assuming, but she didn't have many answers and she was very secret. She was under lock and key about
I think
it.
sometimes corporate too, they're like, let's see how long we can do this for. And if people just eventually get used to it, they'll bring their own bags. Well, now you know.
Yeah. And the reusable bags that they had, I was afraid to buy because I didn't want to drop my rice. So that's why I didn't
Yep,
do it.
exactly. What could happen?
So that's what I'm crushing on. Shout out to the hardware stores and all the hardware store workers working hard out there. Thank you. Getting that workout. What are you crushing on?
I'm crushing on being in a drive-thru at your local coffee shop, Dunkin', and saying, hey, today's different. I'm going to get a little flavor.
Okay.
I am like a very much typical iced coffee kind of guy. Okay. Just a little bit of almond milk, nothing crazy, no sugar, sweet enough. And I gotta go on my way. But lately, can I just go off for a minute?
Please.
I've been so into 3 pumps of blueberry.
A 3-pump lube.
A 3-pump blue. And I said, why am I stopping myself from enjoyment? Coffee will always be coffee, but once in a while, let's just get crazy with it. They're all available. And like the people out there, like the French vanilla girlies, I see you and I get it. Like you want to enjoy your life. We're only here for a moment. It's a drop in the sand of the times. And why not just sweeten the deal?
Just put a little pump of the blue to get your day going.
So the blueberry's unsweetened. It only adds 5 calories a pump. So I do 3, 15 calories. I can work it off. And I've been loving it. And it got me thinking, what are other flavors I really enjoy? And we can't go down like the chai route. That's not even what we're doing anymore. I love the caramel brulee flavor at Starbucks. That's phenomenal. My mom growing up, she was a big hazelnut coffee creamer girl. So she would always have it. And I have a real sweet spot for it. And around a holiday, I do indulge. But we had that huge scandal a couple years back. International Delight. Do you remember?
Yeah, it's like 58% plastic.
They were like, whatever you do, do not buy International Delight coffee creamer. It's basically like chewing plastic. What was the creamer on your mind growing up or now? Do you ever just go off the beaten path?
So growing up, let me start from the beginning and I'll end at the end. Growing up, I was raised on 2%. I was raised to believe that whole milk was no milk. Like I was
Devil.
not allowed to look at it in the aisle. Nesquik, I would add to my 2%. But that was the only thing my parents were adding to their coffee. When I got into college, I said, give me as much Adderall as I can buy and as much extra large black coffee that I can take.
Yeah, you're not a flavor girl.
I didn't really put almond milk in my coffee until I met you and you were like, why are you shaking? And I'm like, oh,
And I was
I
like,
can
why
tone
are
it down.
you're like, I have heartburn. I'm like, add a little milk.
Yeah. So we're slowly integrating the creamer. But I do like, especially around the holidays, I do like to get a little like a little snickerdoodle with it or a little cinnamon roll with it. Things like that. But when it comes to like I'm going out my order, my order. It's the same that it's always been.
I'm such a glutton when I go to the grocery store and they have like Lucky Charms creamer. I'm like, ew. And I look at it again. I go, hey.
Why
Like,
is it green?
I want it. I want my coffee to taste like Lucky Charms. I don't care.
Remember when they were coming out of the International Delight? Maybe it was a different one. I don't know. Don't sue me, please. But it was coming out and it was like goopy. And I thought a girl was lying. So somebody else bought it on TikTok and they poured it out. And it looked like kid slime with too much activator.
It's bad for you.
You go to pour it out and it literally like is like a loogie. Like it touches the ground, the bottom of the cup, and then it slurps right back up.
Don't make
crazy.
things that are bad for us because I'm just going to eat it anyways.
Yeah.
But Crush of the week goes to 3 Pumps of Blue because I'm worth it.
And so are you.
What song's been stuck in your head all week? Welcome to Camp Songs.
Welcome back to Camp Songs. Ooh, 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 ooh. Time to sing a little. Time to get those songs stuck in your head onto the mics of this show. What song's been stuck in your head all week, Jonathan?
The song truly has been stuck in my head all week. And the same part that I'm going to sing right now. So my camp song, I'm going to put you on, campers.
Put it on.
You may have heard this song on a little app we have discussed way too many times at nauseum. TikTok. My camp song is Heaven Sent by Molly Grace.
Can I hear a little?
I swear your love is my revival. And I got one hand on the Bible. Oh, you capture my heart. So the first time I heard it, I heard a little clip and I was like, who is this possibly Mormon, possibly like Catholic girl who's singing a pop song trying to get everybody to convert to Christianity? Because I'm not about it. Because it has a very disco, gospel-inspired
Love that.
pop song.
I love gospel music. Oh my
And
God.
then I'm listening to the words and I'm like, oh, she's talking about a girl here. Girl on girl action. Don't mind if I do.
Lesbian?
During
It's
Pride
not,
Month.
it's not anymore.
Clutches pearls. My God. So then I watched the music video. She's cute. She's a talent. I could see this song being on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Lip sync for your life.
A lip sync for sure.
With the boots down.
I don't know much about her, but the song is called Heaven Sent, and it's she wrote it, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from her because I'm like I'm waiting for it to pop off. I do think it's gonna pop off.
Yeah, just kind of you're kind of boots on the ground journalism, Nancy Drew shoes on, and you're just kind of mucking through it. And you're like, hey girls, found a new song for you. Like get hip or get out.
Yeah, get hip or get out.
Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome. It's on the playlist. Do yourself a favor. Listen to it today.
It's fun. It's got a good beat. I like the beat.
I like the beat. We owe her money at this point.
Sure,
So,
right?
like, the amount
Why
of
am
times
I getting so much backlash?
the more we're watching
That's Candy Coated Night.
the more we're watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, the more embarrassed I get about that one time that I said joggers in front of Sheree. And she like giggled and then like stopped. And I was set up. Let's not get into it because I just can't relive the embarrassment. That's one of the memories that sticks with me and when I can't sleep at night.
Sorry.
What song are you adding to the playlist?
A second entry from BNL. Bare
Naked Ladies.
This song is called Pinch Me from the year 2000.
Wait, did I do this?
No, you did the other one. You didn't know
Oh.
this one.
No, I did know this one. I performed for you. No, I don't think I did this
No,
one.
you did
I?
the big one. Well, if
1
you,
week.
yeah.
Whether or not, let's hear it.
Well, I don't think you did. Wait, maybe you did do this one, but if not, who cares? It's our show. I'm gonna start off the song for you guys and see if this rings a bell. It's the perfect time of year, somewhere far away from here. That's all I'm gonna say for you.
I feel fine enough, I guess.
Okay, so we've talked about Bare Naked Ladies. I'm gonna spare you, like, you know who they are, but I did find some fun facts about this song. So Ed Robertson is the lead singer, and during COVID, like during lockdown, he was going crazy, like posting mad videos from the Bare Naked Ladies TikTok account, like giving like fun song facts that were like videos that were edited really well. And he was talking about how he wrote the song about like the anxiety and stress of becoming a new dad right after the really big popular pop off of the other song.
1 week.
1 week. So he's like, how do I follow this up? I'm on the road. I have a new baby. Like, this is about his anxiety. So it's a really fun song, but it's about kind of a serious topic. But he said the fundamental guitar riff on the song throughout the verse was based on the song Leaving Las Vegas by who? Sheryl Crow.
No, I did do the song.
You did that?
Yes, because that was my fun fact for
Oh
you.
no! This is the first time I've ever done it. Hey, you know why? Because it's that good. And I think at 141 weeks, God
Having
forbid,
one repeat, like that's fine. I'll add it on again.
not it being Bare Naked Ladies.
I know, would not have expected that.
Yeah, I just think it's like a really silly song, but there's one part in the song where he goes, I could hide out under there. I just made you say underwear. And that song that was such a cringy lyric that it had to be removed from Camp Songs. And I'm going to put it back on because
Okay, got it.
that line is actually garbage.
Yeah.
It almost makes me
it
hate
felt
the
like
song.
a filler.
Yeah, the whole song's a lot of
line,
filler.
yeah.
But I'm not going to should I try to do the little rap part? It's like a dream, you try to remember, but it's gone. But then you try to scream, but it only comes out. It's like gone.
Try to scream, but only comes as a yawn. Try to see the world beyond your front door.
Okay, so that's embarrassing. This episode, embarrassing. You guys, stunning, beautiful, gorgeous. Pleased to meet you.
Wow, I can't believe like we covered so many hot topics and you guys didn't even know it, but the camera shut off at one point. So it's just been like
Spook.
It's been so crazy and
It's
kooky
so
over here.
Q3.
You talked about it's so Q3 core. You talked about bare naked ladies and herpes. Crazy on your part. But we were so unfiltered and unhinged that I think I'm gonna go to my motorcycle and swallow my house key at this point.
I hope the birds shit on you. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't yet, please like and review our show 5 stars. Share it with a camper. That would be amazing. And we'll see you next week. We'll see you the week after. We're not taking any breaks. And I'm on tour. Go buy a ticket. That'd be fun. See you soon. And with that being said, I guess.
Lights out, campers.